Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. I am Pooja Devedi, and in this segment we are going to discuss objective questions from daily current affairs. Let's begin with the practice question of the last segment. With reference to the Forum for Decarbonizing Transport, consider the following statements. The forum was jointly launched by NITI Aayog and World Resources Institute of India, and the forum is a part of the Nationally Determined Contributions Transport Initiative for Asia project. We have to select the correct statement. So if we talk about decarbonizing transport sector is one of the sectors which have a huge impact when it comes to greenhouse gas emissions. So it is extremely important to decarbonize such sectors. And the first statement is correct. The forum was jointly launched by NITI Aayog and World Resource Institute of India. And of course, it is a part of Nationally Determined Contributions Transport Initiative for Asia project. That means nationally determined contributions. Under the Paris Accord, India has made certain commitments under the name of nationally determined contributions. And we need to sequester carbon as well as reduce greenhouse gas emission and have an installed capacity of renewable energy, which gives us the energy of more than 40 gigawatt. So, moving on, both the statements being correct, the correct answer is option C. Recently, Forum for Decarbonizing Transport was jointly launched by NITI Aayog and World Resources Institute. We have discussed the second statement as well. This project, which focuses on developing a coherent strategy for effective policies and formation of a multi-stakeholder platform for decarbonizing transport in the region. Moving ahead, consider the following statements. The Simon Commission was formed to investigate the Jallianwala Bagh firing. Rabindranath Tagore gave up the title of 𝐃𝐨𝐰𝐧𝐥 to protest about the incident of Jallianwala Bagh, and this incident, the Jallianwala Bagh site of this incident in Amritsar, is now a national monument. So we have to select the correct statement. The first statement is incorrect because it wasn't the Simon Commission but the Hunter Commission, which was formed to investigate the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. And Mahatma Gandhi was given the title of 𝐾𝐶 after the War of Boer. So the second statement is also incorrect. The Jallianwala Bagh site in Amritsar is now a national museum. That is correct. So if we had to choose the correct answer is option C. The Prime Minister inaugurated the newly renovated Jallianwala Bagh complex and museum in Amritsar through video conferencing on 27th of August. The complex is a memorial dedicated to those who were killed on April 13th, 1919 on orders of Brigadier General Reginald Dyer. We have discussed the first statement as well as the statement talking about the 𝐾𝐶 title. The Bengali poet and Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore renounced the knighthood, not 𝐾𝐶 title that he had received in 1915, and we have discussed the third statement as well, so we shall move forward. Consider the following statements. India is the world's largest egg producer, and the Yellow Revolution in India was launched to increase the production of eggs. We have to select the correct statement. Not India, but China is the world's largest egg producer, and the Silver Revolution was launched to increase the production of eggs. None of them being correct. The correct answer is option D, neither one nor two. Small and marginal poultry farmers in India will now have to take measures similar to their bigger counterparts to prevent environmental pollution according to the new guidelines issued recently, and we have discussed the next two statements, so we shall move forward. Consider the following statements regarding Children's Climate Risk Index. It is launched by the United Nations Children Fund in collaboration with Fridays for Future. India is among 4 South Asian countries where children are at the most risk of the impacts of climate change. We have to select the correct statement. Both these statements are correct. The correct answer is option C, both 1 and 2. Recently, the United Nations Children's Fund, in collaboration with Fridays for Future, launched a report named The Climate Crisis is a Child Rights Crisis, introducing the Children's Climate Risk Index. Pakistan stands at number 14th. Bangladesh and Afghanistan have tied at the number 15th and India at 26th. These are among 4 South Asian countries where children are at extremely high risk of the impacts of the climate crises. Moving on, India is among, we have discussed this, so we shall move forward. Consider the following statements. Chikungunya is transmitted to people through the bite of an infected mosquito. BBV87 vaccine is a chikungunya vaccine developed by Bharat Biotech in partnership with the International Vaccine Institute. BBV87 was funded by the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations with support from the 𝐷 mission. We have to select the correct statement. Yes, chikungunya is transmitted to people through the bite of an infected mosquito, and the next statement is also correct, as well as the third statement. All these three are correct. The correct answer to this question is option D, 1, 2 and 3. Recently, International Vaccine Institute has announced that Bharat Biotech's chikungunya vaccine candidate BBV87 has entered into phase 2 and phase 3 clinical trials. Currently, there is no commercial chikungunya vaccine. Chikungunya is a mosquito-borne viral disease first described during an outbreak in southern Tanzania in 1952. It is most often spread to people by Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. These are the same mosquitoes that transmit dengue virus. Bharat Biotech's chikungunya vaccine candidate was developed in partnership with International Vaccine Institute. It was funded by the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations with support from the 𝐷 mission of the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. Consider the following statements regarding SAMRIDH program. It has been launched by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. It aims at creating a conducive platform for Indian hardware product startups. We have to select the correct statement. So, SAMRIDH program, it aims at creating a conducive platform for Indian software products and not hardware products. So, the second statement is incorrect. The first statement is correct, that it was launched by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So, the correct answer is option A, that is 1 only. Recently, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has launched the Startup Accelerators of 𝐷 for Product Innovation Development and Growth program, and this is known as SAMRIDH. The program aims to create a conducive platform to Indian software product startups to enhance their products and secure investments for scaling their business. Moving on, consider the following statements with respect to corporate social responsibility. India is the first country in the world to make corporate social responsibility mandatory following an amendment to the Companies Act of 2013 in April 2014. The amended CSR rules allow companies to set off CSR expenditure above the required 2% expenditure in any fiscal year against required expenditure for up to 5 financial years. We have to select the correct statement. So, corporate social responsibility, it implies when any company takes the resources from the society, it has to give back. And India is the first country ever in the world to make it a mandatory procedure by the amendment in 2014 in the Companies Act of 2013. So, the first statement is correct. Okay. And there was an amendment in the year 2021 where it was said that a company which may have made contributions to this society in the excess of 2%, more than 2%, then they can set off the expenditure in the next 3 years. Okay. So, it wasn't 5 years but 3 years. There is a clarification about this as well. Today we will cover it in the news. So, this statement is incorrect. The first is correct. The correct answer should be option A, that is 1 only. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs has clarified that excess corporate social responsibility expenditure prior to fiscal year 21 cannot be set off against future CSR expenditure requirements, and that corporate donations to government schemes cannot be counted as corporate social responsibility. CSR is a type of business self-regulation that aims to contribute to the societal goals of philanthropic, activist or charitable nature. India is the first country, we have discussed about that. And the second one, all companies with a net worth of rupees 500 crore or more, a turnover of rupees 1000 crore or more, or net profit of rupees 5 crore or more are required to spend 2% of their average profits on the previous 3 years on CSR activities every year. So we have discussed this in detail in our in-new series. You can go and watch it. Okay, let's move forward. The amended CSR rules allow companies to set off CSR expenditure above required 2% expenditure in any fiscal year, required expenditure up to 3 financial years. Okay, moving on. Consider the following statements with regard to new registration mark for new vehicles of Bharat series. A vehicle bearing this registration mark will not require assignment of a new registration mark when the owner of the vehicle shifts from one state to another, and this vehicle registration facility will be available on a voluntary basis to defense personnel only. We have to select the incorrect statement. So, new registration mark has arrived for new vehicles of the Bharat series, and the first statement with respect to that is correct. The second, although, is incorrect because more than defense personnel are actually included in it, such as public sector companies, private sector companies, employees of state and central government. We will know more about that. So just know that second statement is incorrect. The first is correct. The correct answer should be option B, as we had to select the incorrect one. Government has introduced a new registration mark for new vehicles of Bharat series to facilitate seamless transfer of vehicles. A vehicle bearing this registration mark will not require assignment of a new registration mark when the owner of the vehicle shifts from one state to another, and the vehicle registration facility will be available on a voluntary basis to defense personnel, employees of central and state governments, public sector undertakings, and private sector companies which have their offices in 4 or more states and union territories. Okay, let's move forward. Consider the following statements with respect to Pradhan Mantri Jandhan Yojana. The scheme was launched on 28 August 2016. It is a national mission with an aim to provide access to various financial services including remittance, credit, insurance, pension, banking, savings and deposit account in an affordable manner, and from 28th of August 2018, the government extended Pradhan Mantri Jandhan Yojana and the focus shifted from every household to every unbanked adult. So we have to select the correct statement. The scheme Pradhan Mantri Jandhan Yojana to have a more accessible financial base for those who were never banked. This was launched in the year 2014 and not 2016. So Pradhan Mantri Jandhan Yojana today has completed 7 years, and it is a national mission with an aim to provide access to various financial services given in these manner. Now, from 20th August 2018, the government extended the Pradhan Mantri Jandhan Yojana and the focus actually shifted from every household to every unbanked adult. That means in every rural or urban household before 2018, at least one person to have a bank account should be there. But now it has moved from one person to everybody in the household. So the correct answer should be, as the second and the third both are correct, the correct answer should be option D. 2 and 3. The central government's flagship financial inclusion program, Pradhan Mantri Jandhan Yojana, has completed 7 years today, and we have discussed the first statement and also the second as well as the third. Consider the following statements with respect to the recently commissioned Vigraha offshore patrol vessel. It has been developed by India in collaboration with France. The vessel has also been designed to carry 1 twin-engine helicopter and 4 high-speed boats. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Vigraha, the offshore patrol vessel which has been recently commissioned, it is indigenously developed and not in collaboration with any country or France. So the first statement is incorrect, but the second is correct. The correct answer is option B, that is 2 only. The Union Defence Minister is set to commission the Indian Coast Guard's offshore patrol vessel Vigraha, 7th in the series today. The 98-meter vessel will be based in Andhra Pradesh, Visakhapatnam, that is Vizag. The ship was designed and built indigenously by the Larsen and Toubro Shipbuilding Limited, and in a significant boost to the defence capabilities of the armed forces, it has also been designed to carry 1 twin-engine helicopter and 4 high-speed boats for the purpose of boarding operations, search and rescue, law enforcement and maritime patrol. Moving on, IDA or IDA. Recently seen in the news refers to which of the following? A species of butterfly, a new unit of measurement, tropical cyclone, or a variant of SARS-CoV-2. So this is actually a hurricane, a tropical cyclone. So the correct answer to this question is option C. Hurricane Ida or Ida, after making 2 landfalls over western Cuba later during the day on Friday, was barreling into the southeastern Gulf of Mexico. Forecasters are warning that a tropical depression in the Caribbean could rapidly strengthen into one of the strongest storms of Atlantic hurricane season. The next named storms of 2021 Atlantic hurricane season will be Ida or Ida, Julian and Kate. Moving on, let's look at the practice question. Consider the following statements. The natural habitat of gharials is Salt Lake. Gharials are critically endangered in the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List of Species. You have to select the correct statement. So I hope you'll be answering it correctly in the comment segment. That's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.